The next character we are recasting is Watt. Now, Watt was played by Alan Tudyk or Tudyk. I'm not sure how you say his name. I always think of him from the movie 28 Days with Sandra Bullock. He was the gay guy in her rehab class or whatever it was. He is Pirate Steve in Dodgeball. He is King Candy. Yeah, he's the voice of King Candy in Wreck-It Ralph. He's also the voice of the Duke of Weselton in Frozen. So he does a lot of voice acting, but he's a funny guy, and he's the one that has the comic stuff. You know, he's spazzy. He's got anger management issues. The bright red hair. I will fong you. Right?
He ends up punching another character we haven't quite cast yet.
He does, and he has another great funny line. So this is the last clip I'm going to play. So sorry if everybody's expecting lots of clips, but I did have a clip for Watt as well because this is another one of those scenes that makes me laugh.
Better a silly girl with a flower than a silly boy with a horse and a stick.
Goodbye then.
It's called a loss. Hello.
So, hello. He's so great, and obviously I love the dynamic between him and Chaucer, who don't get along.
Not at all.
No, but they all have William's best interest at heart.
Absolutely.
So I had written down again between 30 and 35. So he's that middle child, right? He's between Roland and William. He's kind of a little bit younger. Very sensitive, nerdy, but he's got those anger issues. I thought of smaller, scrawny, nerdier guy who has a Napoleon complex, and I went with Simon Pegg. So if you know who Simon Pegg is, if you don't, basically he's Benji Dunn in the Mission Impossible movies, Hugh Campbell in The Boys. He's Scotty in Star Trek, and of course he's Run Fat Boy Run, Shaun of the Dead. So he's a little bit scrawnier than Alan Tudyk, but he's got that same red hair. You can see him being spazzy and having, like I said, Napoleon complex, being angry all the time and
absolutely
aggressive. So that's kind of who I went with that role.
Yeah, I think that really hits. I think so far the cast is starting to really catch fire there. So I was super excited about my cast coming into this, but so far yours is really impressed as well. Right here for what I've got someone who honestly haven't seen him in anything in a while either, and maybe that's just due to my own ignorance, and I'm not as big of a movie buff, especially in the indie scene or the international scene. But we're all gonna know him from he was in at least 7 to 8 movies as Ron Weasley, and this is my boy Rupert Grint. Redhead, fiery, emotional, and can certainly deliver comedic lines when needed to. Ron Weasley in the Harry Potter movies played sidekick, played second fiddle, but certainly showed his emotion all too often in that series. And I think that has the looks, has the emotion and the personality to go ahead and play very nicely off of my William and my Roland.
I like the look of him, and I like the personality. I agree with you. The only thing is, because I haven't seen him in much outside of the Harry Potter movies, right? Yeah. Is the Harry Potter movies are very dark. I mean, all of them. And so he plays kind of a darker version of Watt, maybe, in those movies, not necessarily in this movie. But when Ron takes or eats the love candy and then he's all like happy, right? That's what I'd want to see as Watt, is like that kind of more of a upbeat, skipping down the hallway kind of guy.
Yeah, I'd like to say he has the range, but I mean, like I said, I've really only seen him in that franchise, and so they kind of put him in a box there. So hopefully he has the ability to kind of grow into something with more potential, but I think at least the foundation for, the looks and the emotions to be there, it's a good start.
Yeah, and I'd like to see him get that opportunity to grow, because obviously we've seen Daniel Radcliffe has gone on to do a lot of stuff. He's a tremendous actor. Hermione. Yeah, I mean, all of them kind of gone on, but he hasn't really done anything Americanized, and it would be interesting to see him kind of take on a role like this. I'd be curious to see that.
Yeah, I've even seen, can't believe the name is slipping me right now, Neville, the actor that plays Neville. I've even seen him more recently than I've seen anything that, Rupert Grint has done.